think your wife is joining us. I see another.
Yeah, she's joining now.
Cool. I'll wait for her. There we go. Hello.
So are we live on YouTube now?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what we were speaking on, so maybe I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, so typically what happened, well, it's interesting because when we originally signed you up, we signed you up to be on the podcast, and when you guys re-signed up, it signed up as though I was going to be on your podcast, but I was pretty sure that wasn't the case.
Right.
So essentially what I do is I interview people about their business, talk to them about how they got started, talk to them about some success stories, some tips they might have for people who want to get interested, and then also if they want to reach out to you and work with you, how they can do so. That's pretty much how it goes. Does that sound good?
Yes, it sounds good. I didn't know that we were just going to be like a full live streaming. So that was the part that, yeah, that was.
Is that okay? I can stop the stream.
No, we can move forward. No, you guys have been such amazing reaching out to us, learning about what we do in the industry. It's just, this was just a different approach. That's all. We've been on multiple podcasts, but typically I didn't know we were going to be streaming live. So I'm excited. Yeah.
It makes it easier because ultimately it's going to end up on YouTube. It's just easier to go straight to the source. And then also people can live chat in. So I've been doing that a lot lately.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna hit him with the intro and get right into this. This is the Millionaire Talk Show. My name is Charles Oglesby, also known as Todd Millionaire. Thank you guys all for tuning in. The purpose of this podcast is to share the stories of successful African-American business owners and investors so that people can hear the stories of successful examples because they exist. We want people to learn that business and investing are the true keys to financial success and generational wealth. With us today, we have the Truckpreneur, Tammy and Sheldon. And I'm not sure what part of the country they're in, but I know they've been crushing in box trucking, which is really cool because we've been seeing a lot of people having success with semi trucks. And you can start to think that it's just semi or no way, but apparently there's a lot of money to be made in trucking. I've seen into the business. So we're going to talk to them, learn a little bit about their story, and just have a good conversation. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit more about who you are? Just like a little quick bio.
Let me ask you this now. Is it Todd or Charles?
It's Charles.
It's Charles. Okay.
Charles. I get that all the time. Yeah. I should have named my company after a person, so then they wouldn't assume that was my name. Everybody makes that assumption.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Well, we got 3 companies. We got 2 trucking companies. We got WJRM, which is my wife's trucking company, named after her 4 children, Willie, Jerome, Robbie, and Michael. And then we have Yael Transport, which is my trucking company. That's named after my first grandchild, my granddaughter. But then we have a Truckerpreneur. A Truckerpreneur is a coaching service that we teach people how to start a transportation company with no CDL required, box truck, cargo van, sprinter van. Since COVID, we've turned over 550 people into entrepreneurs. And last year, we produced 2 millionaires in their first year coming through our program. So we try to let people know that the 18-wheeler is number 1 in this business now. Don't get that twisted. But the 18-wheeler is not the only way that you can make money in the transportation business. That same box truck that you can walk into Penske, Ryder, or Enterprise and show your driver's license that you want to rent it to move your furniture is the same truck that you can buy, and that truck can produce $150,000 to $200,000 a year.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because I've owned a semi truck, and one of my biggest struggles is I bought the truck. I couldn't even drive the truck from the lot to the parking space. It sat there for about a month before I got my stuff in order, and I got somebody to actually they towed it to the parking space. And so I have a little bit of experience in the trucking industry. My trucking actually has been down for some time. And that's why I've been looking at the CDL, because I'm so limited with my truck. I can't even get behind it and deliver some stuff if I wanted to. But if, I mean, that would get the truck running if I had some free time or whatnot. But I'm curious, what landed you two in the trucking industry?
What, say that again now?
When did you guys get into the trucking industry?
Well, I started my trucking company in 2017. We started coaching people in March of 2018. We started coaching people around our kitchen table. Our first seminar was March of 2018 around our kitchen table for $25. We had 14 people. And then we kept doing it for about a year. And then we kind of gave up on it because it was a lot of work. And then once we learned about social media, that's when we took off.
Yeah. Took off how? Is that just because you had access to more people and it's the same information? What caused that?
Well, I think, we hired a coach, and that coach's name is Marquell Russell, Klein Attraction University. And once we got with him, our business just flourished. He showed us how to make the videos and how to pay for advertisement with Facebook, and how, all of the basic stuff that you need to know about social media. And it just grew our audience to the point right now on Instagram, we got 70,000 followers, legitimate 70,000 followers, not bought 70,000 followers. And I think we got 60 or another 70 or 80,000 on our box truck group on Facebook. So yeah, that's how we got started, man.
So why the box truck and not the semi truck?
It was easy for me. You probably got to understand my story before you can really appreciate the journey. So for a lot of people that don't know, I went to prison at the age of 46, and I got out of prison. I walked out of prison at 55, and I did 8.5 years in prison. But when I was in prison, I had a Christian brother that owned semis. And I used to pick his brain about the trucking business. So I picked his brain about the trucking business. So when I got out, I got my CDLs, and my first job was with 7-Up. But 7-Up was paying me $1,200 a week for 65 hours to make that $1,200. So I did that for 3 months. I left them and went to USA Concrete, driving the concrete truck. I was making $1,500 a week, but I was working 70 hours Monday through Saturday. So I was like, it got to be a better way, and made a phone call. A friend said, you can make $1,000 a week in a cargo van. And I was like, stop it, man. He said, I'm telling you. So I went out and bought my first cargo van for $1,500, leaking oil, smoking in the back. And the cargo van bought me $900 a week at 32 hours. 7 months later, I bought my first box truck, and the rest is history. Now, the reason why I didn't go from a cargo van to a semi is because I couldn't afford a semi. Reason why I didn't start with a box truck, I couldn't afford a box truck. So I had to start at ground with a cargo van, and then gradually go up to the box truck. And then gradually now we own box trucks and semis, so that's how our journey started. And how the coaching service started, when I had the cargo van, I used to pull up to the same places that the 18-wheeler and the box truck will pull up at. And I used to ask questions about transitioning from the cargo van to the box truck, and nobody wanted to help me. They didn't want to give out the information. They tried to hoard the information. They tried to hide the information. And I used to get furious, pissed off, mad about it. And I told God that I would never, ever be like that. And I jumped in the business on my own, figured it out on my own. And I went back and taught 2 people out of prison and 3 people I went to CDL school with. I helped them start their business. And then my wife came to me and said, hey, let's do our first seminar. And that's when we started our seminar in March of 2018 at our house.
So the wife, she handles more of the seminar business, it sounds like.
Yes, yes, I am not one to be bouncing around in a box truck, even though I can drive one if I needed to because you don't need a CDL. But I kind of stay in my lane. Me and Sheldon, we have two separate lanes in the company. I help, with marketing. I help with the social media, which is relatively new to us. We've only been on Instagram, maybe in a full 2 years. We started our Instagram account back in 2018, but we never really knew how to work it. But that's what I do. I work with my team. We have 12 employees that help run our coaching service. So I help lead a team, keep them motivated, stay industry current, and just provide the company with support from a marketing perspective.
Yeah. How helpful is it to have both people on the same team in a marriage? Because a lot of times you'll have just the husband out there doing this thing and the wife, she's doing something completely separate, but you guys are working together.
Well, I think the best way to say it is that, I always wanted a spouse in my life that we can make, start a business together, grow together, make, a substantial living together. So I've always wanted that. I didn't see that many examples growing up because typically, like you said, in minority families, the parents are probably working two separate jobs, trying to just make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
But we were fortunate enough for God to align our paths at the right time where I had grown and gone through some things and Sheldon had grown as well and gone through some things. So when we connected, we were at a place in our life where his kids were all grown. My kids were about to be grown. I have a corporate background, so I work in the healthcare arena. So when I learned that he was, launching this business and trying to get his trucking business off the ground, like getting his cargo van going, then, for my corporate brain started kicking in, and then my creative juices started to flow. And I was like, let's start a seminar. Like, let's do it. I can do a PowerPoint presentation. We can invite people over. We can share this knowledge with people because back then there was no one on YouTube talking about box trucks. There was no one, no websites. There was no information out there. We were the first to market with this whole box truck industry. And so when he was like, okay, let's try it. And we started working together. Now, was it easy all the time? No, we would clash. But the one thing he would always say, and he says it now, like, this is your skill set. And then I have a certain skill set. As long as I stay in my lane and I don't try to merge over to his lane, because he will put me back in my place, and then vice versa. So we make it work, but it hasn't always been challenging. We've had to go through some, some rough nights, some days, because it's two people that's learning one another, number one. And then now you also learn how to work together in business. I mean, it is definitely, it will stretch you. I'll put it like that.
Yeah. It's interesting because you guys started out the coaching in person and you kind of got burned out, but then you started on social media and it worked. So I'm trying to find out, like, is it because it was less time required? Are you able to kind of package it up into like a digital course so that you can teach people without you being involved? How are you able to have more success online? Because it's still, you would think that it's still the same amount of time, but it might be less.
Well, I think when we kind of got burnt out, we was trying to create clients or advertise for clients, but we didn't have no idea about social media. I'm 61 years old. My wife is in her early 50s. So she didn't know anything about social media. So we was trying to get clients by word of mouth and other ways, and it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. So what we did, which was a stretch for us, and is a stretch for a lot of people, we had to hire a coach. And once we hired a coach, and we try to tell people now, it appears that you are spending money, but it's really you're investing in yourself and in your brand. And once we learned that by investing in yourself with a coach, you will eliminate a lot of mistakes and eliminate a lot of stress because you have somebody that can guide you through the process. And that's what we did. Once he taught us how to create clients, we just took off.
Yeah.
And and for me, my mom is a retired educator. So education and putting together content and putting together courses and make it flow and make sure that, we have good, rich substance that we're delivering to people, that comes easy for me. So I can build a course in my sleep. I can have my corporate friends to look at it. They dissect it. They give me feedback. We run it past the team. So that's my strength, being able to say, hey, listen, we have something here. What's the best way to put it out there? And if you notice, we're not really on YouTube because we never really had to tap into that and one of the main reasons, because we wanted a more controlled environment where we could really give everybody everything they need in just one space, and everything is condensed, is outlined, it's easy to follow, it's digestible, and you have the #1 box truck coach right there holding your hand every step of the way. So we want to be extremely hands-on with our coaching clients, with those that come into our program, so that their level of success would be, great. It would be a great experience. So
that's important also, because if you invest in a high level coach, and Marquell's not cheap, if you invest in a high level coach, it helps you become a better coach because you understand what's required to be a coach. So then not only are you able to have success with your content, you're able to have success with your clients. So it's like you're getting clients, but now we're also turning out successful clients. That's really interesting. So I want to go back to your story because we're talking about you had one truck. When did you start to see like massive success? What did that look like for you?
Well, when I transitioned from the cargo van to the box truck, I had that one box truck for maybe 4.5 years. I never wanted to scale up. And one of the reasons why I never wanted to scale up, because I was in my late 50s, and I wanted to spend time with my kids, my grandkids, my wife, at the time, my girlfriend. And I used to only work 3 to 4 days out of the week. I never worked more than 4 days. And I had 3 days off. And that's what I wanted. I was happy with making 10 grand a month, 12 grand a month, $14,000 a month, just working 4 days out the week in my truck. But then when I met my wife, when it was time to scale up, and I understood that I could handle the scaling up and I could employ people and help people make a good income, that's what intrigued me to scale up. So right now, I think we got 4 box trucks and one semi, and we getting ready to purchase another semi. And I don't drive anymore. I stopped driving maybe a year and a half ago, and we employing people. We got 11 employees on our coaching program. So it's just been a rewarding experience, man. When you hear grown men and grown women telling you thank you, but their voice is cracking, they trying to hold back the tears because they didn't transition from working for somebody for 10 years. And now they're an entrepreneur making 10 grand, 14 grand a month when they was barely making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. So it's a rewarding experience, man. I just thank God that God gave me and my wife this platform, and we know that this is where we want to be. This is where we want to be.
Yeah, it's not like a fly-by-night thing for us. Like, we didn't just start this to see, this is true ministry for us. And to know that God has given us the opportunity through his grace and mercy to transform lives. We don't take it as, oh, you know what, let's just start making money. Now, because we have 12 employees on our team, we got a payroll. We wanted our coaching program to run like a well-oiled machine. So we have a coaching program where the focus is to exude exceptional customer service, hands down. So to do that, you got to have right people on the team. Most of them, they have a corporate background as well, so they understand customer service. So I want to look for the industry's best to get on this team with us so that we could deliver exceptional customer service and be obsessed with our client success. And that's what sets us apart. We're so obsessed with client success that that's just our mission. So it's not just like something we thought, oh my God, this will be fun. There was plenty of times we wanted to quit. And it was like, God was like, no, I gave you an assignment. and you need to go ahead and move forward with it. And we'll know when it's time, but it wasn't just something we just came up with just to make money.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to quit. Is that like quit trucking coaching or quit the trucking business?
Quit coaching, quit trucking, quit my marriage, quit everything. But because it will test you. Your husband and wife team together, trying to run a business, it can be a bit stressful. Coaching clients, can wear you out depending on how the access levels are. So we put some parameters in place now where we still are very intimate and close to our coaching clients, but we do have some processes in place so we can make sure we can still connect with them. And then also quit the trucking business. I mean, it's up and down sometimes, but we realize that it's a lucrative business. If you put the hustle with it, you understand the information, because that's what people fail. They don't really understand the information. And then when they did get it, they don't know the right information to keep the doors open. So in our program, we got the right accountants who specialize in trucking. We have people that come on our coaching calls that talk about how you can save money and invest in IULs or, invest in real estate, whatever the case may be. If it may not just be trucking, because a lot of our coaching clients are entrepreneurs and they're serial entrepreneurs. This is just another avenue for them. So we want to make sure that it's not just about trucking and starting a business. Keep the doors open, create generational wealth, and then understand the fundamental of accounting and knowing your numbers and knowing your books and all that as it relates to trucking.
Yeah. So truck prices have been going crazy lately. Do you think that's going to continue to be the case, or do you think they're going to start to become more normal?
No, they're going to correct it. One of the reasons why the prices have skyrocketed is that COVID has put the manufacturers in a position where they can't produce new ones. So by them not producing new ones, that means people are holding on to their used ones instead of trading them in. So the people that do have ones, the price, that's what's making the price increase. So that's the issue with the trucking, but it's gonna solve itself. I believe probably, I would say probably July. I think we'll start seeing these prices start to go down.
Yeah.
And if it's in the box truck and cargo van arena, some of the prices you see the gouging that's going on could be because of my wonderful husband. He's turned over 600 people as entrepreneurs, So, I mean, trucks are scarce. People are hopping into the industry. They want to be a part of something that's great, a part of something good. So they're buying trucks. So those that have trucks, they know supply and demand is real. So where there's limited supply, the drive goes up, the money goes up. So, but we think we're going to see a quick turnaround really soon. We've talked, we had the opportunity to talk with some of the rental companies. I know Sheldon was on site with, was it Penske or Ryder? Where we bought the 18-wheeler? Was it Ryder?
Ryder.
Yeah, with Ryder, and the manager there, he was saying the same thing, that, right now, the prices are up, but once they start producing more trucks, the market is about to change. Yeah.
So you mentioned Penske and Ryder, and they're companies that typically lease and rent trucks.
Yes.
Are you guys in favor of that model of the business? Because I've heard that some people actually are in favor of leasing something because the maintenance might be lower, the payments are going to be higher, but it's more predictable, I guess. What's your thoughts on that?
Now you can't rent no box truck and make no money in this business, especially if you're trying to do over the road. By the time they hit you at $700 a week or $750 a week plus 25 cents a mile, it's going to eat up all your profit. Now, when I say eat up all your profit, you just turned a entrepreneurship into a regular job, because now you have to find a load and you have to make money, because Penske want their weekly rent money, regardless if that truck moving or not. So I tell people all the time, that's one of the things that I emphasize. You cannot rent a truck and make money. Now, when I say you can't rent a truck, you can make $500 a week, but that ain't no money. So, by the time Penske take their money and you pay the insurance and all of that, you'll make yourself about $500-600 a week. When if you own the truck, you can make $2,000 a week or $2,500 a week. So, but you can't make that $2,500 if Penske getting all the money.
Yeah. Is the same true for like a lease though?
Yeah, it's the same thing. A lease is just a little bit cheaper. Let's say, for example, if you rent a truck it might be $700 a week. If you lease a truck, $700 a week is $2,800. If you lease a truck, it might be $2,200 or 20. You know, it's just a couple of $100 difference.
So last year was tough to find drivers, at least for me. I was struggling. The drivers that I was getting, they would come and then they would leave. Even the people that I was trying to get, it just was really difficult. They might even get snatched up before. I had a driver say he was going to take the drug test, and he like asked me for money to help him with this child support. Like, I was like, huh, you want me to pay your child support? That's kind of crazy. For drivers, did you guys experience a driver shortage, or was everything okay for you?
Well, we never experienced a driver shortage with our box trucks because all you need is a driver's license. But when we did get the semi, it was a challenge trying to get a CDL driver because there's a shortage. There's a shortage of CDL drivers, and some of the big companies are offering big bonuses to take them away from you. So, yeah, that has been a challenge.
Yeah.
That's why if you ever find one, you have to take care of them.
Yeah.
You have to take care of them.
But so for me, taking care of them, I was confused because I wasn't too sure on like how much they should be getting paid. I still want to make it profitable for the business. It's like, how do you measure that? How do you measure where you're paying them? I guess you got to do your research. You got to figure out what they're being paid at other places.
Well, most people, the standard right now is 25% of what the truck makes. Some companies still pay their drivers per mile. We don't pay our drivers per mile. We pay our drivers. Let me backtrack. The standard is 25%. We pay our drivers 27% of what the truck makes. And if they with us for a year, we give them 30% of what the truck makes. So that keeps them on.
I like it. Any bonuses, anything like that?
Yeah. I do spontaneous bonuses. Like if the truck hit a certain amount per week, I might throw an extra $200 on their check. If the truck break down on them and they out of town, I might fly them back home to be with their family until the truck get fixed and then fly them back. I just do little stuff like that to let them know that they are a major part of what we do, and I'm not going to take you for granted. So I just do little spontaneous things to let them know how important they are.
So since for a driver to drive a box truck, they don't need a CDL, how do you determine or vet somebody to make sure that they're qualified to drive behind your truck? Do they have to have prior like driving experience? What does that look like?
Well, I look for that, but I don't, that's not a priority for me, because when you give somebody a chance to make $1,000 to $1,500 a week, because most of my drivers make $1,000 to $2,200 a week in a box truck. So sometimes you can just give somebody a chance. Let me give you an example of what we just did with one of the drivers we got. We met a female. I went live on Instagram, and I'm looking for drivers. All these people called our toll-free number. This one young lady called, and she said she had her CDLs, but she lost them. And I had her go take a drug test. I had her give me her 3-year MVR. 2 days later, she called and said, do you have any places like a shelter where I can go stay at? And I'm like, what you mean? She was like, my girlfriend, we just got in an argument. She kicked me out. And I was a white guy offered that I could stay at his hotel. But when I got there, he wanted sex and I left. And so she was like, I ain't got nowhere to stay. Make a long story short, before she even got in the truck and started making money, I was $800 in the hole paying for her hotels, making sure she eat and doing that. Now, that's me being me, right? And I know that I could take a loss, but I'm also betting that she's going to appreciate somebody that just helped a total stranger, that she could be a loyal driver and be with my company for a long period of time. So you do have situations like this where you do got to step out on faith with some of these drivers and understand that they are your most important entity that you're going to have in the business. And I kind of went on a rant right there, but hopefully I answered that question.
Yeah, it goes both ways. It definitely is a risk because honestly, I think I did send the dude money for his child support. It wasn't a lot of money, but I think I did help him out a little. I was desperate, man. I was trying to find my own driver, and it was hard. So I ended up hooking up with the 3PL, all that stuff. Do you guys do 3PL work, or do you guys do your own authority?
No, we have our own authority.
Okay, is that what you recommend?
Yeah, I recommend you have your own authority.
That's how you make the most money because the 3PLs can take a good amount of the money. It's just for me, it was so much paperwork, and I was having a hard time keeping track of all the different requirements and different permits and different licenses. Through your coaching, I'm sure you guys streamline that process and you help people understand what needs to be filed and all of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. From beginning to end. The first thing is understanding the mindset and understanding, visualizing that you can literally do this thing. See, people, what we know for sure is that, people like information, but more than anything, people want transformation. So there's a lot of coaching folks out there talking about getting in business. Like trucking is a hot topic right now. But it doesn't matter how much information you give people. If they don't see the big picture, if they don't really believe that I can do this, and they had that know-it-all from within, and they've gone through, maybe dealing with the life coach, or they've had someone to help them get past barriers or how to overcome objections. If they don't have that mindset, you're just pouring information. So one of the things that we do, we want you to see the vision. We want you to see that you can do this thing, by just showing you and sharing with you real life experiences on what we've been through. My husband, 8 years in prison. Me, I may not have gone to prison, but dealing with fear all my life and afraid to step out there, having negative people in my space. So the biggest thing that we're working on in our coaching program is really letting people understand that they can do this. Because for minorities, honestly, from a generational perspective, we've never really seen wealth. We've never tasted it. We've never seen it. We don't know what it feels like. So to have somebody on social media talking about, I done turned 3 people into millionaires, you can make a 6-figure. And then when they finish listening to you talk and they go outside and they see that they in a bad area where they live, negative people all around them, or, you finish giving them information and then they get on the phone and talk to somebody who shoot it down or talk down to them and make them feel like they can't do it. Or they sit through a course of training, but all their bills are behind. So when they get off that training, now they back into that mindset, man, I'm still struggling. So it's the point of helping people to understand and getting past all of that negative stuff in there so that you can get to the place of prosperity. You will be able to taste and feel and see wealth. And that's one of the things that I'm really working on developing in our coaching program, because we have a lot of minorities in there. And, I was on a call this past week and, just listening to the mindset, like, even though people are doing very well, we still have real life issues, so being able to coach them even at that level, I just want to kind of be a game changer when it comes to our coaching program.
I like coaching when it comes to trucking because the course isn't enough. And you do need, like, you never know what you're going to run into when you get into trucking.
Yes.
And so it's like you guys are there. So if they run into an issue, boom, they can come to you, or they can come to the group or the community or whatever you guys have set up. I like that a lot because trucking is unpredictable.
We're one of the few programs where you can get in our program and have his cell phone number. Don't too many coaches give out their personal cell phone number. And we talk about 600 coaching clients. We have a process in which we, vet it out, make sure, it's something that he needs to get to his level, but you can literally text and he will get on a call with you and you can sit and vent or get a strategy session. Hey, coach, you told me I can make this amount of money coming to the program. Well, I'm not seeing that. Well, let's get on a call together. Oh, I know what your issue is. This is the way you're bidding, or you're not bidding correctly. Try this, try that. Then the next week they're like, coach, I did it. I hit that $6,000 mark. I did it, coach. So to see the level of whole hand holding and the level of support that he gives these clients, it's unprecedented. Yeah. It's just unprecedented.
Yeah, we have 4 coaching calls a week.
Wow.
4 coaching calls Monday through Thursday, Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. And then we got Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. So we got 4, and then you got my cell number. So we when we say we hold your hand, we literally hold your hand. But we understand that once you find your rhythm, you're gonna drop off. And so for some of the people that's out there watching the podcast, was like, how can you handle all those people? Well, we understand that once a person find a rhythm and they start to understand the business and they making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a week, they're not going to need me anymore. They're only going to call me when they run into something they're not familiar with. And it might be a phone call every 4 months or every 6 months. Coach, I ran into this issue. I don't know how to handle it. This is how you handle it. So that's why we can handle such a large volume like that.
And then not only that, you know, like he is a sought after coach when it comes to this box truck arena. So we have opportunities for dedicated routes. He's working on a really big contract right now with a major player. I think it's what, 3.7 million. Cheryl?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And this is a 4-year dedicated route for box trucks and cargo vans. So that goes to our coaching clients. We don't put that on social media. It's not on YouTube. That is specifically for our VIP coaching clients. The other thing is that the way in which we set up our program, we knew that at some point Sheldon was not going to have the bandwidth to handle that. So we have an amazing cargo van coach, Coach Deanna, and her husband Darius. And then we also have a game-changing female box truck coach who has mastered the industry and can literally like be little Sheldon if she wanted to. Her name is Coach Danita. So we got the industry experts on our team to help make sure that our clients get we have, well, number one, we have client obsession is what I want to share, because that's our goal, to have client obsession. And we are obsessed with our clients.
I like it. So somebody comes into your coaching, is there like an information portion, or they literally are dropped right in there and they're just interacting in the phone calls? What does that look like?
Well, it's multiple ways. I mean, we got an online portal that you can take, which we got at 50% off right now. And then once you take that online portal, you get 6 months access, so you can go in and out, in and out, in and out. And then your schedule, you get one free consult call with me on that online portal. But then next week, we doing a 4-day training camp where it's going to be a Zoom call for 4 days, an hour a day. We're going to teach you about the trucking business. And then if you want to transition to coaching, then you can transition to coaching. We didn't have multiple people just take our online portal, just take our seminar class, and they got enough information. They went on and started a trucking company on their own. But then we have some people that want their hand held. They don't want to make no mistakes. They don't want to go through no frustration. We help you from your LLC to your EIN number to opening your business bank account, to showing you how to get a business credit card, so for repairs, to how to buy a truck, where to buy a truck. No truck is purchased without my approval. So we got a job form. So the clients have to send in the make, model, miles, and price, and 2 pictures of the truck, and then I approve it because of these high prices. So if the prices is too high, I deny it. Most of my coaching clients listen to everything that I say. Then we show them how to sign up with the brokers with a new authority. Then we show them how to bid. We tell them on what load boards to go on. And then some of them, they take off like a rocket. First week, $3,000. Second week, $4,000. Some people start off $1,500 a week, and then they get to $1,800. Then they call me and say, Coach, I ain't making but $1,800 a week. What am I doing wrong? Let's set up a strategy session. This is what you're doing wrong. You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. You're doing that wrong. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to do that. Then they go from 1,800 to 3,500 to 3,500 to 5,000. So when I tell you we hands-on, I'm hands-on. And we do, every time that me and my wife is in a different state, we post on social media a meet and greet. So from Dallas to North Carolina to Chicago to Gary, Indiana, we done had 40 to 50 people just come and hang out with us and just ask me questions and all kind of stuff like that.
And also, I like to piggyback, because you kind of downplayed this, that if you live in Georgia where we are, and you're a coaching client and you find a truck, he's coming to look at that truck. So he literally is driving on site.
Wow.
To look at the truck, make sure it's inspected, make sure the mechanic is there. We can't do it because we have clients all across the country, but we can definitely do it for our folks that live in Georgia, definitely are close by.
Or the truck is in Georgia, but they live out of state. Right, because we teach people how to buy trucks out of state without even moving. We've got protocols in place where you can find a truck in Wisconsin. We're going to show you what to do before you even go down there and buy the truck.
That's crazy. So it's like you're making it really difficult for somebody to fail. Cause I wish I had that kind of coaching. I was out there guessing, and I'm not making my 1,500 a week. My truck is sitting right now, and it's been sitting for a few months. And if I had a coach, I'd probably been able to maneuver through all the different things I'm going through, because I wanted to run my truck out of California, and I was having a hard time getting it out of California. And so I had to get in contact with somebody who's just going to take it and just run it for me, and I'm making way less money. And so it's like, if I had a coach, I probably could have got it going in California. Do you have California clients?
Oh yeah, we got about 5 California clients. So your truck is in California?
My truck is in Arkansas right now, because that's where the person
Well,
is running.
I got somebody that I can turn you on to, where that truck can you can probably do about $5 or $6 grand a week net. He got some dedicated routes, but it's from North Carolina to Georgia, and Georgia to back to North Carolina. So if we can definitely talk about that. I can turn you on to him and let you call him, and you can chop it up with him. Absolutely.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get, man.
Right.
What is one thing about trucking that you didn't expect? Or just like the whole coaching business, all of this?
I can go and take that one, Sheldon, if you don't mind. One of the things I didn't expect was number one, I didn't realize how niche down that we were. I didn't realize that, we just like so niched in this industry. And then the other thing is that I didn't realize that you could really make a lucrative income in this trucking arena. It was a game changer for me, because again, I've been so straight corporate, and just stepping out to be a full-time entrepreneur in the trucking space and haven't missed a beat. It's mind blowing.
What's one challenge that you're facing in the industry right now, and how are you going to overcome it?
I would say right now, I mean, it's not a challenge for me, but it's been a challenge for some of my coaching clients, is that these fuel prices have skyrocketed, and it's dipping into their profit. So they some of them are panicking, but then we showed them strategies how to avoid that. Like for this one app, there's an app called Mudflap. And if you punch in, you download this app called Mudflap, it'll show you where all the diesel fuels are the cheapest at on your route. And then we gave them a strategy, is start taking shorter runs, like runs for 300-400 miles they pay a lot better. So, but that's probably the biggest surprise that a lot of my coaching clients are facing right now.
So before I head to the wrap-up questions, I was online looking for a box truck, and I was confused because there's so many options out there. There's like different axles. It was just confusing. What do you recommend for somebody who's looking to find a truck? Like, what's the best kind of, what makes sense as a truck to buy? Because it was just crazy.
First of all, I would tell people, don't even worry about an axle or anything like that. Only thing you need to know is it a non-CDL box truck or a CDL box truck? That's all you need to know. A non-CDL box truck is 26,000 pounds or less. At 26,000 pounds or less, it's a non-CDL. You can use your driver's license to drive it. It's going to come in 3 weight classes: 26,000, 25,999, 25,950. Those are non-CDLs. A CDL box truck is going to say 33,000 pounds GVW when you open the driver door. My number one box truck I recommend is a Hino. It's called a Hino Hino. The model number is 268. That is a Toyota box truck. My second box truck is a Freightliner M2106. M2106. That is a non-CDL box truck. My third box truck, it has to be a 2015 or 16 or newer International with a Cummins engine and an Allison transmission. If it don't have a Cummins engine and an Allison transmission in the International, then you don't want it. You want a Cummins engine and an Allison transmission in the Freightliner. And the Hino got its own engine, so you don't got to worry about that. But those are the 3 trucks. Oh, and I will recommend the Ford F-750 box truck with a Cummins engine and an Allison transmission.
Cummins. So I think when it comes to engines, it's like either Cummins or like Detroit.
Right. Detroit is a good engine.
That's a good engine. Okay. I think I got a Detroit engine. I'm pretty sure I got a Detroit engine. So actually I have another question. My father-in-law has a CDL. He was driving. He ended up getting sick and he like blacked out. And
Did he freeze up? Or is it just on my
working so much to make some money.
You know, you froze up. You froze up
yeah,
after
you went out for a few minutes.
After your friend blacked out.
All right, sorry about that. I don't know, my internet's doing this. So my father-in-law, he got sick. He still wants to be in the trucking industry, but he can't drive. What advice would you give to somebody who's in that situation, but they still want to be in the industry, they can't drive, but it's like they don't know if they want to be a dispatcher? Like, what does that look like?
I would say dispatcher is another avenue. He got the experience. He know what the rates are. He can, dispatch. You can start right at home, and or you can be a fleet manager. You can be a fleet manager for somebody. You can just run their trucks and make sure that their trucks are taken care of. Or when the trucks need to go to the shop, can't drive it to the shop, but you can assign somebody to drive it to the shop. So those are different avenues that he can do.
Oh, all right. So a few quick questions as the wrap up questions. The first is, what is your favorite business or investing book?
Ooh, baby, I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Oh, my favorite. I'll tell you my favorite. I have several right here. That's a good question. All right, so my favorite, honestly, would be Think and Grow Rich. I mean, I would, and I have it on Audible now. So I've been reading that and just really understanding the mind shape of thinking to be at a different level when it comes to wealth. So I would say mine it's old school, but it still serves its purpose today, and that's Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That was my first book I ever read. And I'm not a reader, so that was my first book I ever read. But I will say I did read Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. So that's a good book right there. Because all this stuff it's a mindset. It's a mind change. It's a mindset and it's a mind change. And if you I tell a story about Colonel Sanders all the time when I get an opportunity to. So a lot of people don't understand that Colonel Sanders used to sell chicken in gas stations. That's how he blew up. He used to, but he would go to different gas stations and put his chicken, his recipe in the gas stations. But Colonel Sanders ended up shooting a man. And his friend got killed because the people was marking down, they was putting graffiti on his sign about his chicken. But the point I'm trying to make is, behind every successful man, there's gonna be some stumbling blocks, some trials, some tribulations, but you got to push through it. That's just the way it's set up. For whatever reason, God set it up that way, that before you can become successful, there's going to be some stumbling blocks, some trials and tribulations. They are designed to make you quit. That's what they designed for. They designed to make you give up. But we ain't giving up in 2022. We're not doing that in 2022. And we denouncing fear and rebuking fear in 2022. And we are changing this. This is where it begins. And I tell people all the time that used to hustle on the street, or maybe they are still hustling on the street. You already a CEO. You just got to transition to a legal product. You already know how to run a business. You a boss, but you bossing up on the wrong product. You need to just transition to the right product and run your business and watch yourself take off.
That's true. It's interesting because that's one of the things that I realized. I was like, man, y'all actually have like a legit bit, or you have not a legit business, you have a business. It's like, bro, just like take those same skills, apply to something that is legal, and you'll be all right. And these days, it actually is kind of legal if you go through the proper channels. You can sell weed if you want to in California. Hey. If you really want to sell weed,
right? Hey.
Yep. What does wealth mean to you?
Man, you want to answer that? Or you want me to answer? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Absolutely. So think about wealth. When you think about wealth, the first thing that I know, I would think is like money. It's always monetary. But wealth to me is much bigger than that. It's my peace of mind. It's having good spiritual balance. It's having good emotional intelligence. It's for me right now at 53 years old, it's spending time with my grandchildren and being able to pour into them some of the things that I did not have an opportunity to pour into my own children because I was much younger. It's my overall physical health. That's very important to me. Went to the doctor not long ago. Doctor's like, oh my God, your blood pressure is extremely high. They put me on medication and stuff. My wealth is getting off of blood pressure medication. That would be extreme, some extreme wealth that hit my life to be able to back away from that. So it's being able to live a comfortable lifestyle. But in the grand scheme of things, wealth to me has been able to have the resources and the funding to bless somebody else and to make a difference in somebody else's life. So that's my whole spiel on wealth. Shells?
Mine is I'm in the beginning stages of my wealth. And what I mean by that is I get up every morning and just walk in my office and call my fleet manager to check on my trucks and where they at, and then which my fleet manager is my son. And then I call my daughter to check on the invoices to make sure that we getting paid for what the trucks are done. But then, me and my wife, we working on creating more passive income. Like we flipping our first real estate project right now. It go on the market in 2 weeks. We looking for 10 to 20 acres of land so we can start some truck parking. So I'm in the beginning stages where all I got to do is wake up every morning and just check on this, check on that, check on that, and check on that. And that's where we headed, and that's where we want to be. So, and then when you have, one thing I learned this from Wall Street Trapper. I learned this from Wall Street Trapper. Wall Street Trapper said you want to position yourself where you can print money to buy freedom. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to print money to buy freedom. And when I say print money, I mean earn money, earn different passive incomes where you can buy freedom, because the time is the most important thing. The time, and this is a new space for us with the level of success that we had in 2021, that we learning what to do with the money that we made. We didn't know what to do. We were spending as fast as it was coming in. We was buying toys and this and that and buying this. And now we learning like, oh, slow down now, slow down. You got to take this money, make this money, earn money. You know what I'm saying? Can't be spending it on a lot of toys and this and that. I will say we have bought some nice toys though, but we done with the toys. Ain't no more toys now. Yeah, it's all about passive income.
My last question before I ask people where they can find you following the sports you have going on is, what sets apart successful coaching or successful trucking coaching clients from those who give up, fail, or just never get started?
Oh, that's easy. And I say it all the time to my coaching clients. I say it all the time to people that take my seminar class. I'm going to give you the foundation, but the hustle part is sold separately. I can't teach you that. The hustle part is sold separately. If you follow my steps and follow my blueprint and you're a hustler and you learn the business, you're going to be successful. It's as simple as that. And if you get on my coaching call with some of my clients that are having success, they tell the people all the time, be patient, follow the steps, listen to coach, and put in some work, and you're going to be successful. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I would have to say I piggyback on everything that he said. Well, I veggie back. We're not doing pigs. We're not doing pork right. We're not doing pork right now, but I veggie back on what you say. Yeah.
Awesome. Great conversation. The last question I always ask our guests is, where can they find you? Where can they follow you? And where can they support you have going on? But can you kind of break down the different trucking products you have and where they can find those? Because I'm really interested in that.
Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, so we do have a full suite of services. We do have, if you just want to kind of like learn the industry at a very high level, we do have a ebook that really breaks down our Coach Sheldon's gems, everything that he learned. So we do have the ebook that's available. And then if you want to take it a step further and purchase the replay, which is the full seminar on how to get started from beginning to end, it's about a 4-hour replay. You can take it at your leisure, go through it as you want to. That is a service we have as well. And then we have our online portal. The only difference in the replay and the ebook and the portal is that the portal is a 6-month access, and there's videos in there of him at the truck stop showing you how to measure your freight, showing you how to install an ELD, showing you how to use a lift gate. So we have about 13 videos. There's also a business plan in there on how to start thinking from a business perspective. In terms of building your business. So the online portal, again, 6-month access is all videos. So it's a little more interactive than the replay and the ebook. And then we also have our top tier, which is our VIP coaching program, where we literally hold your hand every step of the way to be successful in this business. And that is all housed right on our Instagram page. If you go to Sheldon_box truck coach, Sheldon_box truck coach. You click the link in our bio. You'll see all of our services, any guest appearances. We'll also put this YouTube clip on our link tree as well. We got you, Charles. We'll put that in there as well. Follow us on Instagram, see what we're doing, see the impact we're making across this country. Yeah. Oh, and also you can call us. So if you call us, you will get a response back. We recommend that you text this number because you'll get a faster response. But if you text 833-269-8785, again, that's 833-269-8785. Text us any questions, any comments. We'll get back to you as well. And then our website is www.boxtruckcoach.com. Boxtruckcoach.com.
Awesome. So you guys, we're going to have all those links in the show notes and also on the YouTube. And we'll definitely have this clip. It's already live on YouTube, but the official podcast will roll out in about a week or so. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you give us a 5-star review if you think it's a 5-star podcast. And I just appreciate you guys for making it on. I know we had to reschedule. I know we had that going on, but I appreciate the conversation. I was like, man, I got to have these people on the show. And you guys did not disappoint. So I appreciate that. And,
so how did you find us, Todd? How did you find us?
What's interesting is I've seen some clips on Instagram through Social Proof. And then I have an admin and she's reaching out to people for me. So she actually found you. So I'd seen you, but she found you, if that makes sense. Yeah. She did the reaching out part. But yeah, just social media.
Okay. Cool beans. But, thank you.
Yeah,
but it's been my pleasure, my man. It's been my pleasure, brother.
That wraps up another episode of the Millionaire Podcast. My name is Charles Oglesby, and we're signing out.